There are thousands and thousands of games on Steam. Some are good, some are bad, some might be so good that they are hidden gems, but their marketing isn't the strongest. So while you're scrolling through different games on Steam, among all the hundreds of games that you're looking at, what makes you click on one particular game? I think it has a lot to do with great marketing art, because that's probably the most important thing that you'll see other than the name of the game, of course. There is a split-second decision on whether you're gonna click on that game or not. And if you click on a game, there are probably higher chances that you're gonna download them as well. Which tells us that having a badass Steam banner art could potentially lead to more clicks and more downloads of the game. That's exactly why games produced by big companies have these amazing jaw-dropping artwork on Steam. Big companies have big budgets as well, so they do hire artists or art companies to create these amazing marketing art for their games. But maybe small companies or indie developers, they might not have the same kind of budget, which is why it's very possible that they might have a great product on Steam, but the branding and the art is not so great. Now, as a professional illustrator, I have previously worked with many companies for their marketing art, whether it's for their social media or their website or even platforms like Steam. So sometimes they have a very clear brief on what exactly would they like to see on the marketing art, but sometimes they leave it up to you. So you can play the game or take a look at the game footage, see what the game is all about, what's the most important thing in the game mechanics, the kind of enemies, the environment, the art style, and you put that into a single marketing artwork that represents that game. That artwork could become the identity for that game, and that can be used on their social media or even on their Steam page. Now here's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna head over to Steam, I'm gonna browse through some of the amazing games on the platform and see what kind of marketing art they have, whether it's good, whether it's bad. Maybe we'll critique a few, discuss what could be improved, and then I'll select one game and I'll revamp their marketing art for free. And lastly, I'm gonna send that artwork to them through an email and surprise them with their new marketing art and hopefully see their reaction. I'm sure it would be a lovely surprise. So without wasting any more time, let's do this. So the first game that we're looking at is called Ancient Wars. Now this is their marketing art for the game. I really like the logo design, by the way. It's placed at the center, which is working perfectly fine. There are two characters in the scene, both are placed on both sides of the logo. The top and bottom part is kind of empty. The characters are good, but they're kind of looking very 3D-ish. That's probably because they are 3D, but they also look very raw and less polished. This bald dude is particularly giving out an effect of a very basic human 3D model, so the characters probably don't really have too much personality. Overall, I think this works, but this could definitely be improved. I would probably create something in the background as well. I would give some more personality to these characters, make them more crispier looking, and I would probably also control the colors as well. There is a red color going on through the whole artwork. The eye doesn't quite know where to look at. I think I would have gone with one color theme and then I would have put red color as an accent color throughout the entire artwork. It's a real-time strategy game. It really reminds me of the Age of Empires. I'm sure you've played that game. I loved it. Also probably because some of the art made for Age of Empires is by Craig Mullins, which is the OG digital painter and a huge inspiration as well. So let's look at this next one. This is called The Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, and I think the main protagonist of this game is an orc, which is quite new. I am a big Lord of the Rings fan, and in Lord of the Rings, orcs are bad guys, so don't blame me. This looks like a fun game. It's also very old. It's from 2006, which might explain why the art is not so great at this point, but yeah, it can definitely be improved. The main problem that I see with this art artwork is that the color of the gray text and the color of the orc's armor and the color of the background, they're all too similar, so it's getting a little hard to get a good read on this text. It's always a good idea to make the text more readable by adding some sort of a contrast. So if you have a darker background, a lighter text would work really well, and if you have a lighter background, a darker text would work really well. I'm also looking at the skin of the orc. It could have been much more saturated. I would have made it much more greener. Also, the lighting is very generic. If I were to handle it, I would have probably put multiple light sources or add a very sort of dramatic lighting to this. So yeah, that was Dark Messiah Might and Magic. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one is called Punji VR. So the art style looks really fun. I'm wondering why this art style was not incorporated into this marketing art. From the marketing art, I can definitely understand that there might be silhouettes in this game. I'm not quite sure. Is that a baby face? Are these the eyes and this one is the mouth and this is the head shape? I'm not quite sure. That was not the intention, I guess. Oh, so these are helicopters. I can see them now. Yeah, but look at this art style. It's so cool. It's very simple and works really well. If I were to do this marketing art, I would have incorporated some of this blocky, very minimal art style into this marketing art. I love the art style. Even this image right here, it tells us so much more about the game than this one, because when you look at this image, you can see that this is a first-person type of game, and the environment is very stylized, very simple, and the enemies look like silhouettes, which is great. Even this one, I love this background. The silhouettes would work really well on a background like this. Now let's move on to the next one, which is called Tales of Glory. This is the kind of stuff that I want to get into. Look at this. Medieval warfare all day long. This is the kind of genre that I would like to work with. Now look at their marketing art. These are just some stock photos jumbled together to create this banner. So we can see there are some knights, there is a battle going on in the background, there is lots and lots of text with lots of red going on, and in the background we have some mountains, and we can also see a castle. Now there are many problems with this artwork. First, there is a lot of text. I would probably get rid of some of the text. Also, the use of red. Now red color has a really dark value and it works pretty well with lighter background, but when the red color is put over a darker background, it might not be very readable. Not true in all the cases, but in this one, as you can see, the red is put on a darker background and it's not working very well. It's not very readable, and this red is put over a lighter background, which makes it more readable. So that's something to consider about the red color. Alright, I guess I've made up my mind. We're gonna revamp this artwork because this is the artwork that needs revamping the most. No offense to the artist who made this. So here's what we're gonna need. We're gonna need a bunch of knights. We're gonna need a battle scene in the background, maybe some dust and smoke, a castle, and some mountains. And we might also have to revamp their branding a little bit. Maybe this Tales of Glory can be written in a much more medieval or gothic kind of way. We'll see about that. So now I'm gonna jump right into this and recreate this artwork for Tales of Glory. But before we move on, a word from our sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community of creative people who like to learn new stuff every day. It's a must-have platform for creative artists like you and I. It offers thousands of classes on all kinds of topics, including concept art, illustration, photography, video, freelancing, and many more. And these classes have been created by experts who have loads of experience in their particular fields of work. I've been recently watching a class which is called Make a Living as an Artist. It's by Brooke Glazer, who is a successful freelance artist. And in this class, she explains how to set up an art business, where to find clients, how to email art directors, setting up your pricing, and tips for negotiating with your clients. In this day and age, it's super important to not only be a great artist, but to also possess these skills in order to make a living doing what you love to do. So do check out this class. Skillshare is offering 1 month absolutely free for the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description. But for this ending month, they're even running a better offer. If you're ready to start learning with Skillshare today, you can get 40% off of your first year using the link down in the description. I'm leaving both the links down below so you can choose the best offer for you. Now, let's make that epic artwork. Time lapse is coming up in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, so here's the final result. I think it turned out really well. I'm really liking it. Now there's only one thing left to do. Now I am sending an email to the developers and I am attaching that artwork as well. Show them that I have revamped their artwork for free and they are free to use that on Steam if they like. I'm excited to see their reaction. So whenever I get a response from them, I'll post it on my Instagram. So make sure that you follow me on Instagram to stay updated on this little project. You can find the link in the video description. Alright, that's it for today. I hope you found some valuable information through this video. If you like it, please leave a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.